Hi guys and welcome. This is just a short video where I'll tell you what we do as building brokers in Adelaide. I'll tell you a bit about myself and how we got started in the industry. So chances are you're reading this because you're looking to either build for yourself, for an investment, or maybe build multiple dwellings as a development. Where we come in as building brokers is we negotiate on your behalf with several builders that we've selected from our panel. We look at the best terms and conditions and the best prices, who will do the most favourable terms on fixed price contracts, full turnkey options, so that we are comparing apples with apples right across the board. We then present you a minimum of 3 builders that we've chosen with their fully costed prices for you to make the final decision of which builder you select. Now our service is completely free to you. We charge a small fee for the successful builder, but more often than not they're happy to wear that because they've then gained some work that they wouldn't have otherwise gotten had they not been sought out by myself. So how did I get started in this? Well, my name is Michael Chernis. I've been a developer for a number of years. I've done quite a lot of subdivisions, new builds, supervised new builds, overseen the subdivisions, the project managing, and I noticed that not all builders were the same, and I haven't been afraid to chop and change around to get a builder that I'm happy with. There's been some horror stories out there, and there's some builders that, will do everything from, I guess, trying to leave things out of the contract that they know they're going to have to sting you for later. They might deliberately underquote on certain allowances and variations to win your business, but then sting you down the track. And then there's even been some cases of just blatant disregard for the law. You hear stories all the time in our industry of concreters, ripping out steel from the slabs and doing all this sort of thing to try and cut their costs. And we make sure that you don't get stung with that sort of problem, and that you get a really good price and you get what you paid for. So the 3 main areas we focus on when selecting a builder for you or presenting you with 3 different options are price, timing and quality. Now obviously price is one of the most important issues because it does, it's always going to be an investment. Even if you're building something to live in, you don't want to pay more than what you have to for the same quality of homes. And yes, you might say this is made by builder X and they have a great reputation, but in a lot of cases, if you have the same plans and selections that are being shopped around to the different builders, a lot of them are using the same tradespeople anyway. They work for various different builders. Some will hire their own tradespeople, but a lot will subcontract out the same tradespeople and do selections at the same places. So it is easy to compare apples to apples. So just again, those 3 main things are price, time frame and quality. With the price, you want to fix the price, and this is what we do. We talk to them about their rates per metre, about where the value is, but more importantly, just assessing that there aren't too many or hopefully no prime costs or potential variations, then fix it with what we're happy with. Now that will often involve using the right building contract, but often a separate addendum to that just to double check that everything is fixed. So that's the price, and that's quite easy to compare when we come back to you with 3 different building contracts. The next thing is the timing. And timing is the biggest killer of any development or build, more so than price. You might save a few $1,000s here and there by selecting a different builder, but if the project runs 6 months over time, then what's your interest? What are your holding costs? What's your percent return per annum then when the project blows out to well over a year? And what does it do to your opportunity cost to reinvest those funds quicker if you're doing it for resale or to get a tenant in? So timing is extremely important, and in that case we lock them into a fixed time contract with penalties. The penalties have to be realistic and in line with a realistic interest expense. Otherwise builders will say and do what they have to do and say, oh yeah, it's a $5,000 penalty, and they might just factor that into the price. And $5,000 is not really much of a penalty. It needs to be on a weekly basis and something high enough to ensure that they finish the project on time. Now, yes, they'll pencil in rainy days and that sort of stuff, but they're still not going to add up to what potentially could see your project run months over time. And we've had it happen. I've had it happen where builders have, for whatever reason, not been able to complete their building on time, and it does cost a lot of money. So that's important. So we've covered price, timing. The third thing is quality. Now, this is where we'd compare apples to apples with selections, the selections that you choose for your home, and then get them all costed in one place so that we can shop them around to the different builders. For those things that can't be quantified, sometimes you're not really selecting types of architraves or windowsills, these sorts of things, then we'd find a minimum agreed standard in one of the display villages, and that way, if their painting finish is not quite up to scratch, or the silicon's not quite up to scratch, we can go back to at least a minimum agreed standard that's been signed off on. I know this sounds like a lot of overkill, but this does happen, and these problems do arise in more cases than not. The overcharging, I mean, we've seen cases where we did one recently where a developer was doing 8 homes, and we had the quotes ranging from $106,000 a home to $155,000 a home. Now that's a 50% difference, and when you multiply that by 8 homes, that's a lot you're talking about. And there was absolutely no difference in the quality. There was no reason for the discrepancy other than one particular builder was trying to profiteer more, or maybe their costs of operation were higher. So it can save you a lot of money, it can save you a lot of heartache, and it can just ensure that the process runs smoothly. As I said, our services are free. You'll be talking to me. We'll work out exactly what you want in your home, and we'll go and make sure that you get the best prices, present you with the best 3 options, and discuss which builder to move forward with. So get in touch on the number below, or send me an email, and I'll be happy to meet you for a coffee, look at your plans, and discuss how I can help. I'm Michael Tunis. Thank you very much.